symbols hold many of the secret meaning behind some of our most basic myths and legends. One such symbol is jade. Jade can be white to green, orange, brown, lilac, otherwise known as jadeite, green to creamy white, otherwise known as nephrite. Throughout many Chinese empires, jade was considered the most noble of all gems. So much so, it was simply given the name Yu, or precious stone. Yu is to treasure in Chinese as gold is to wealth in English. According to myth, the stone was born during a storm, and for this reason, every home had a jade in its foundations to keep lightning at bay. According to Confucius, jade is valued so much because men of olden days regarded it as a symbol of the virtues. Its gentle, smooth, glossy appearance suggests charity of heart. Its fine, close texture and hardness suggests wisdom. Firm and yet does not wound, suggesting duty to one's neighbor. It hangs down as though sinking, suggesting ceremony. Struck, it gives a clear note, long, drawn out, dying gradually away, and suggesting music. Its flaws do not hide its excellences, nor do its excellences hide its flaws, suggesting loyalty. It gains our confidence, suggesting truth. Its spirituality is like the bright rainbow, suggesting the heavens above. Its energy is manifested in hill and stream, suggesting the earth below. And articles of regalia, it suggests the exemplification of that which there is nothing in the world of equal value, and thereby is Tao itself. Another symbol are those used for ritualistic or a talisman, such as the bai or pi disc. As for ritual, it is written to serve the gods with jade. Indeed, 6 ritual jade stones were used as offerings to the 6 directions in nature, cults, and during funerary rites. The Li Ji, or Book of Rites, compiled around 300 BC, state, if a ruler perfectly observes the rites of the state, white jade will appear in the valley. The Dropa, according to certain writers, are a race of dwarf-like extraterrestrials who landed near the Chinese-Tibetan border some 12,000 years ago, though this is a controversial view. Photos claiming to show Dropa discs are in fact bai discs, thousands of which have been found throughout China, mostly in the southeastern provinces. Bai discs range in size from a few inches to several feet, and most commonly made of jade or nephrite, with a round or square small central hole. Most bai discs date to the Neolithic period, or 3000 BCE, and were common up to the Shang dynasty period. Plain at first, bai discs beyond the Shang period are usually more ornate, carved with dragons, snakes, sometimes fish, or motifs representing wind and waves, and were used in ritual ceremonies. Most Neolithic bai discs were found in grave sites buried beneath the head or feet of the deceased. It is theorized that this was to assist the deceased spirit. The pi is the most important of all the jade talisman and was used as funerary object to guide the spirit to heaven, as well as an emblem of nobility. Its shape may originate in the circular path of the sun and symbolizes the circle of heaven and cycle of time, with the central hole standing for the fixed polar star. The bai is still worn today as a talisman. The Shang dynasty was the first dynasty in ancient China. The different states of China fought each other for land until the Shang kings took control over northern China and set up large cities. The royal family lived in a walled palace with their advisors and diviners. The craftspeople were responsible for making tools, weapons, clothing, ornaments, and household goods. They made them out of bronze, silk, jade, clay, and other materials, and were responsible for making the bai discs. Early China of the Warring States, Shang and Han dynasties used the Ya shape to symbolize centrality and places of reverence. TLV bronze mirrors, descendants of the bai disc, were made during the Han dynasty, as the cosmology of the early Chinese is demonstrated by a dome or navel in the center of the mirror. The Ya shape can be demonstrated on the discs or mirrors, and it's believed to be a spiritual or cosmological belief that the center or the navel of the disc represents the center of the universe, or world mountain Kowloon. It's also commonly believed that it can represent the imperial palace or Ming Tang. Based on cosmological system, symbolizes the complex relationship of yin and yang, so the order on earth would correspond with the order of the universe. More philosophical interpreters believe the navel or dome represents the harmonious balance of all the elements and forces of heaven, earth, and humankind. The Lubo board with the TLV markings represents a diagrammatic representation of the universe and is connected with revealing one's destiny. The Jingting She, or pattern of 9, may be superimposed onto the TLV mirror, and one can see the pattern fits perfectly into the circle of the Bai discs. The TLV markings have 4 V shapes occupying the 4 quadrants or Earth. The T and the L markings correspond to summer and winter solstice.